everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari ST A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari ST games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the former. Today we're looking at King's Quest, the first one, Quest for the Crown. This was originally released in 1984 by Sierra Online and was originally for PC Junior. In fact, it was designed as a launch title for IBM's PC Junior and published by them in their iconic grey plastic packaging. That version's quite a collector's edition these days. So over the following 5 years though, the game was ported to a wide variety of different platforms. And the Atari ST version we'll be looking at today came as part of a batch of re-releases and ports of the game that emerged in 1987. So these were pretty direct ports from the original PC Junior version rather than complete remakes. So the kind of graphics and sound for their time of release looked relatively primitive for platforms like the Atari ST. Largely due to sort of being lower resolution and not using that many colours and not using sort of fancy graphical trickery and that sort of thing. But they certainly had a lot of personality and character about them. And one noteworthy thing about this bunch of remakes, I just said they weren't remakes, didn't I? This bunch of re-releases were that they used the second generation of Sierra's AGI engine. And so the main difference there was the speed in which the backdrops were drawn. In the original PC Junior version, the backdrops had to be drawn by hand as vectors, which meant that sort of if you went into a new screen, you had to wait for it to draw before you could do anything. Whereas in these later versions, that made the screen redrawing much quicker. So you sort of, it just has to load the next screen and then it appears. Much better. So the ST version and all subsequent versions up until King's Quest 4, which is the last one you could get on ST, they all appeared in packaging that looked a bit like this. And so if you had all four of them, they all lined up really nicely on the shelf and looked lovely. Now this is the only King's Quest I own a copy of, unfortunately, on ST anyway. I have King's Quest 5 on PC, King's Quest 6, 7 as well, I think. But yeah, this is the only one I have in really good condition. So let's have a look inside and on the back. So here's the back first of all, showing us some screenshots of the game and sort of highlighting Roberta Williams on there, sort of one of the first high profile women in gaming and still one who is celebrated quite frequently today. So let's see what it has to say about it. It's the most fun you can have playing an adventure game. Best-selling authoress Roberta Williams and Sierra's adventure design team have brought the adventure game to life in the compelling 3D animated adventure King's Quest. Tremendous in scope and breathtaking in beauty, King's Quest is unlike any other computer game you've experienced before. It is adventure told not just in words and pictures, but brought to life through the use of colourful graphics, animation and sound. Yeah, so although King's Quest is sort of a little bit more primitive in presentation in some ways than other ST games of the period, in others the idea of a fully animated graphical adventure was still a pretty new concept to a lot of people. So this was revolutionary in many ways. Well, excuse me. Multiple solutions make King's Quest very replayable. If upon finishing the game you find that you want to play it again, be advised the puzzles and situations in the King's Quest game have multiple solutions which can change your position and status. Problems can be solved in a number of ways and higher scores are awarded for your creative play. Pretty nice, and something which applied to Sierra games right through their lifetime basically. There tended to be multiple ways to complete them, and sort of the sort of ideal end game for a Sierra game, if you like, was to try and get the maximum possible score in them. Alright, so let's have a look inside the box. So this is just a slipcase on the outside, and then inside we have this sort of standard Sierra in a case which has a picture of, I guess that's a Sierra. So a whole bunch of stuff in here, including some old backup discs that we've got here. Let's have a rummage through these and see exactly what they are. So we have a disc of saves for King's Quest 3, in fact, which I've only ever owned a pirate copy of, which is right here. Thank you to my clarinet teacher for copying that for us. What else have we got? We have got a Sierra catalogue. So other stuff. There's a bit of history of Sierra here. This is quite fun. A Miracle from the Kitchen. So it talks a bit about how Ken and Roberta Williams founded the company and their first games, Mystery House and so on. And then goes through to sort of highlight some of their favourite games from over the period. So you've got things like King's Quest, you've got Leisure Suit Larry, and then you've got specific pages on the individual series as well. So there's a page on, a double page spread on Space Quest and that sort of thing. So we won't go through that in complete detail now, but it's well worth a look. And then it also goes on to have a look at some of the other stuff that Sierra did as well. So they also made productivity software. So you got things like this sort of financial management thing, HomeWord Plus, which is a word processing thing, and Screenwriter 2, which is a professional grade word processing thing, particularly designed for writing screenplays and that sort of thing. Also in the box, I appear to have a photocopied copy of the King's Quest 3 manual, because that was essential to progressing in that game. A disc of King's Quest 2 save games. A couple of reference cards. So one for Sierra's official hint book. For every problem in this game, there's a solution. And of course, you would rather work them all out yourself. But there are times when even the most brilliant adventurer gets stumped. That's when you need a friendly hint to set you on your way again. Our hint book is written by the same people who designed Sierra games, so you know they're complete. So you'd go off and order one of those if you wanted to. How much was that? $7.95 plus sales tax if you're in California. Not bad, not bad. So yeah, the reference card is just sort of specifically for ST. So any kind of unique key commands you could put in. And there's sort of things about using 2 disk drives and all that sort of thing there as well. We have a pirate copy of King's Quest 2. And we have the original discs for King's Quest itself. So at least I have one of these games officially and properly. Oh, we also have some other unlabeled discs in here as well. It's an ST Action cover disc, and there's a completely blank disc there. I bet they've got save games on or something. Yeah. Okay, then we got the manual, which is really nicely presented with this sort of embossed print up here. Embossed, is that the right word? It sticks out. And then inside it's just sort of so beautifully presented. It's like a sort of old fairy tale book. Actually, yeah. So you've got the sort of backstory in here, and then it moves on to a few suggestions on how to actually play the game as well. So since we're here, why don't we read the backstory? A long, long time ago, when unicorns still roamed the forests and the merfolk still dwelt in the shallow waters frequented by men, there ruled in the kingdom of Daventry King Edward and his lovely queen. The people of Daventry were prosperous and happy, and everywhere peace reigned. But the king and queen were sad because they were childless. They had no son to inherit the throne, nor a daughter to gladden their hearts. One bright sunny day, King Edward the Benevolent, for so he was called, and his queen were walking in the castle garden when suddenly before them appeared a powerful sorcerer. "I know your problem, and I can cast a spell that will bring you a child," he said. "Oh, great sorcerer, if you can help us, we will be everlastingly grateful," said the queen. "We will bestow on you many honours and great riches," said the king. "I have no use for honours or riches. My payment will not be so great. All I ask in return is the mahogany-framed mirror that hangs in your private chamber." The sorcerer's words gave them pause, for that mirror was priceless. It had the power to read the future, and help to keep Daventry prosperous. The royal couple used it to foretell the weather for planting and harvest, as had the kings and queens before them. It had been hundreds of years since a crop had been planted before the last frost, or had been ruined by autumn rain. What the sorcerer desired was indeed valuable. The king and queen retired to their chamber to consult the magic mirror. King Edward and his wife gazed into the mirror's depths and saw a young princely figure with a gold crown upon his head. Imagining the youth to be the son they yearned for, the royal couple gladly bestowed the mirror upon the sorcerer. He took it to his dwelling, where he set one of his beasts to guard over it. The months passed, and the queen did not conceive a child. For the first time in 400 years, Daventry lost the harvest to an early autumn rainstorm. The king and queen wept, and everyone tightened their belts. Instead of having excess produce to sell to neighbouring kingdoms, the people of Daventry had to supplement their stores with food bought elsewhere. With famine came the dreaded plague, and the queen was stricken. For 3 days she lay in the grip of a great fever, with Edward maintaining a constant vigil by her side. On the 4th day of the Queen's illness, a diminutive figure pushed his way between the legs of the castle guards. "I have a cure for the Queen," he claimed. Quickly, the courtiers ushered him into the Queen's chamber, where the King despaired. "I have travelled a great distance to bring relief to your dear wife. This powerful root known only to dwarves will cure any plague." The dwarf leaned over the Queen and touched the root to her lips. Her eyes fluttered open, and she smiled at Edward. The Queen's attendants looked at each other in wonderment. "Only a touch revived her," they whispered. "Imagine how fast she will recover when given the whole root." "Ask any reward for this miraculous gift, so small one," claimed King Edward. "I ask in repayment the shield left for you by your father when he died," said the dwarf softly. The King paled at the thought. The shield, made of titanium and set with emeralds, was traditionally carried in battle by the ruler of Daventry. Legend held that he who bore the shield was invincible, and his army always victorious. There had been no successful attack on the kingdom of Daventry for over 500 years. "Ask again, little man. I will give you your weight in gold, but please do not ask for the shield," said the King. "You do not appear to value your wife's life, your highness," said the dwarf. "I will take no other reward than that which I have requested." Haughtily he turned to go. "Come back," Edward called. "I'll give you the shield." The dwarf took the shield and secreted it away in the hole in the ground, in the way of dwarves. The Queen partook of the root, but to no avail. She worsened and died. Daventry's church bells tolled in mourning, and the King vowed vengeance against the false dwarf. Years passed, and the news of the loss of the shield spread. Armies attacked the weakened Daventry, and the King went out to lead his armies without the shield. Never before did they have need of the mirror to foretell enemy moves. Now, too, that was gone. Many years passed, and the King was very lonely. One day, while out riding with his courtiers, Edward came upon a pack of wolves tearing at the lower limbs of a big tree. When the group approached, the wolves scattered to reveal a beautiful young woman perched in the tree. She descended regally. "I thank you for the rescue, kind sirs. I am the Princess Dahlia of Cumberland. I was travelling through this land when that pack of wolves fell upon my group. My bodyguard fled in terror from their fangs, leaving me quite alone. I owe you my life and my heartfelt gratitude." The King was charmed with the Princess Dahlia and brought her back to his castle to visit. He felt new life coursing through his veins and knew it was because he had met someone who might fill the loneliness left by his late queen. In due time, Edward asked Dahlia to marry him, and she accepted. The people of Daventry were wildly excited at the prospect of a new queen and hopeful again of an heir, and made preparations for a glorious wedding celebration. On the night before the wedding, when the air was thick with toasts and merriment, Princess Dahlia bid Edward good night. He never noticed her hand stealing up to his belt and extracting the ring of keys hanging there. Much later, the royal treasurer approached the King with alarming news. He had discovered the treasury door standing open with the King's own key in the lock. The Princess Dahlia had been inside, holding a small chest of gold. The treasurer stood frozen to the spot. The princess's bright laughter changed to a witch's cackle as her form grew old and withered. She grasped the chest and mounted her broom to fly out the open window. The treasurer watched in dismay as she swooped up through the clouds and disappeared. When the King heard the news, he wept in despair. That chest was magic, and the last great treasure remaining in Daventry. No matter how much was taken from it, the chest always remained brimful of golden coins. Without the chest, he could buy no more food, pay no more soldiers. Many more years passed, and Daventry grew poor and weak. King Edward was old and feeble, and saw that his end was near. Fearing that the country would fall into even greater disorder when he died, he sent for his favourite knight, Sir Graham. "You are the bravest and truest knight in my kingdom, Sir Graham. Long ago I envisioned your form in my magic mirror, and thought I was seeing my son and heir. The years have proven me at least half wrong, but the prophecy may yet be fulfilled. To prove yourself worthy of my crown, I command you to journey out into the world and retrieve the 3 great treasures taken from Daventry by treachery and stealth. Succeed in this great quest, and you shall become king upon my death. Fail, and our beautiful Daventry will grow ever weaker until it is invaded and conquered by unfriendly nations. This I promise by all that is honourable and right. May you return victorious, Sir Graham." And that's the setup for King's Quest. Now, interestingly, that backstory wasn't in the original PC Junior version. It was added for this later re-release. So yeah, the original one was just basically, you are Graham, go and get the treasures. Off you go. Enjoy. So, as with most adventure games, I'm not going to promise that we're going to beat this or anything today, but we'll have a good go at it, and I have finished it before, so I'll see how we get on. It's not the most difficult adventure in the world, but there are a few little idiosyncrasies from adventures of the period that I'm sure will come up as we play. So, let's go play King's Quest.
Okay, here we are with King's Quest 1, Quest for the Crown. Designed and written by Roberta Williams, the original version by Charles Tingley, Ken McNeil and Chris Iden, graphics by Doug McNeil and Greg Rowland, and this new version released in 1987 by Jeff Stevenson, Sol Ackerman and Chris Iden. Alright, press any key to continue. Now, after the backstory we had in the introduction, King's Quest pretty much throws you straight into whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. So if you haven't read that, or if you're playing a pirate copy, you might be completely baffled as to what to do next. But thankfully, this game is reasonably intuitive in that you just explore, figure out what's going on, and then, well, there you go. So, like I said in the intro, I'm not going to make any great promises about whether or not we're going to finish this today, but we will have a good go. I've got some note paper, and I've got a pen, and we're going to make a map as we go. So let's start with this screen here. So Castle East. If we then proceed in this direction. So that pinging you can hear, that's the default ST keystroke sound, which they appear not to have disabled in this particular version that I'm playing. There are sound effects, just not very many of them. So if you've not come across a Sierra game of this era before, the way they work is that they're a combination of the conventions of text adventures and what would become the conventions of graphic adventures. So you move around on the screen much like you would in the later point-and-click adventure, but in order to interact with anything you have to type it. Look, castle. King Edward the Benevolent, the mighty ruler of Daventry, lives in this castle. You never know what might be in there. So, in order to proceed, we go up the stairs here. We can look at the door. These doors are strongly built to keep out unwanted visitors. Knock on door. Your knock echoes within the castle. Unfortunately, no one answers. So let's just head on in. Open door. The huge doors swing open slowly. And we score a point for that. And head inside the castle. Now you notice that despite this billing itself as a 3D interactive animated graphic adventure or whatever it is, there is no sense of perspective on the sprites. King Graham, or just Graham as he's known at this point, excuse me, he doesn't sneeze, but no, he doesn't change in size as he moves up the screen, so you have to sort of suspend your disbelief a little bit for that one. So here is King Edward the Benevolent. Let's just pause here and take stock of what's going on. So look, King. You are not close enough to see him clearly. Look, King. King Edward the Benevolent is a very wise but elderly monarch. His frail body is almost lost in the large throne. Look, throne. The king's throne is made of solid gold accented with rubies. It will be yours if you complete your quest. Okay, so get a couple of extra points. We can stand on this step here and bow. Gives us 3 whole points. When you bow to King Edward, his pleased smile warms you. Alright, let's have a chat with him. Talk to King. When you speak to King Edward, he sighs and says, Sir Graham, I am an old man. I fear my end is near. I have chosen you to prove yourself worthy of the throne. As you know, our kingdom is weak and poor. I have knowledge of the existence of 3 things that would make our kingdom wealthy and strong. Somewhere within our kingdom there is a magic mirror that tells the future. There is a magic shield that will protect the bearer from mortal harm. Finally, there is a magic chest that is always filled with gold coins. Go, Sir Graham, go and bring me back these treasures. If you succeed, you will inherit the throne. So the setup for this quest is actually quite similar to what you would get in a lot of early text adventures, things like Colossal Cave and so on, in which the entire point of the story, such as it was to go somewhere, find some treasures, bring them back. And indeed, that is pretty much the case here as well. It's just got a little bit more context to it than some of those previous games. So, now knowing everything we need to know to get on with our quest, we can proceed on our way. So controlling this is pretty simple. Like I've said, you interact with stuff by typing things into the parser at the bottom of the screen, and then moving around is just a matter of using the numeric keypad. You can use a joystick as well, but since you're doing so much typing in this game as well, you might as well just use the keyboard for everything. Technically speaking, you can actually use the mouse if you want to as well. So if you bring the mouse up... no, evidently the mouse has decided it's not going to work. Mouse on. You can't do that, at least not now. Okay, maybe we can't use the mouse. Oh no, there it is. It just wasn't working for some reason. You can click somewhere and Graham will walk in that direction. Now it's worth noting that he doesn't stop there. So if I click here... Oh, he does. Huh. Okay. I've spent years convinced that he doesn't stop where you click. Maybe this is a slightly later version. I don't know. Anyway, I prefer using the numeric keypad anyway. So if we get on with using our keyboard controls. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the earlier version of this that I played on the actual Atari ST back in the day, the one I showed you from before. Oh dear. Misfortune strikes and you have fallen into the moat. Your struggles and cries have attracted hungry alligators. They do not want to let you go. So we have died. I'll tell you what the problem is. I've just got a new wireless keyboard and mouse. And what happened there is we're getting a little bit of interference. So some of my keystrokes don't appear to be registering as soon as I press them. So let's just restart. As you are dead, I can only permit you to restore game, restart game, or take inventory. Sorry, restart game. Let's try to restart the game. Yes. Okay, so we'll just quickly set it to fast as well, so we can move a little bit more quickly. That also makes everything else move more quickly as well, though. So you have to pay attention to things like the various enemies you will encounter over the course of this game as well. All right, no more dicking around with mouse. Oops. Open door. And then in we go. Off to see Edward. Flying visit. Waddle, 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 waddle. Hello. What's up, Edward? Bow. It's proper to stand directly in front of and a few paces back from King Edward when addressing his eminence. Normal. It's just a little bit difficult to position yourself precisely on fast mode, so bow. Thank you. You don't have to do that, but that's one of the areas where you can get a few bonus points. Talk to King. Blah, blah, blah. Old man. Treasure. We get it. Alright, let's not just blindly wander into the moat this time, although it truly was my keyboard not responding at the time. So I'm going to stop dicking around with the mouse, because it obviously got confused somewhere. And then we can actually start proceeding with our adventure. Let me get my map paper ready. Alright, the door's closed behind us. So, from this point, it's up to you how you want to explore this world. So, let's just head west and see what we've got. And make a map. Okay, so here we've got... we'll call this bush. Look, bush. See nothing special. Look, rock. See a large grey rock. Anything we can do with this rock? Push rock. This moving rock rolls downhill and you unfortunately are in the way. And we've died again. This is something you need to get used to in Sierra Adventures. You will die a lot. And it means you should probably save your game before you do pretty much anything that could possibly be the slightest bit dangerous. Including, apparently, rolling a rock down a hill. Okay, so this time, we'll do it right. Open door. Yes, 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 very good. But yeah, Sierra Games remained pretty keen on killing off the player up until about King's Quest VII or so. And in fact, their big rival in their later days, LucasArts, they used that as a big marketing point in their favour. So like a specific marketing point in that LucasArts would use was, we don't kill you every a few seconds. Alright, let's see if we can save. Save game. Return to saving the slot. King. About to save the game as King. Alright, all done. Okay, once we get back outside, I'll switch back to normal speed just because I don't trust myself moving at that speed because there's so many things you can fall off and die from in this game. Normal. I always really liked King Graham's walk cycle, especially when he's going sideways. I always thought it looked like he was just sort of sauntering along. Not a care in the world. It's just a lovely day for King Graham. He's got the possibility of getting some treasure. Alright, so let's save game, just in case. Save game. And big rock, don't kill me. Alright, push rock. With a heave and a hoe, you manage to move the rock, revealing a dark hole underneath it. Interesting. Look, hole. There's an intricately carved dagger in the hole. Get dagger. You reach into the hole and grasp the dagger, being careful not to cut yourself. Look, dagger. Its handle is beautifully carved. The blade is bronze and very sharp. Okay, I think we've probably done everything we can here. So let's continue to the west. Okay, so we're by the side of a lake here. So we can jump in that lake and go for a swim if we want to. I'm not going to do that for the moment, just in case. Let's now head to the north. So Sierra games are always presented in such a way that north is always into the screen, south is always out of the screen, west is always left, and east is always right. Which makes logical sense. Okay. Can you just look? You need to be more specific. Look, bushes. See nothing special. Look, flowers. You see nothing special. Okay, so really not a lot going on here. Let's just call this bushes again. So if I now head back to the east, we're now behind the castle. Okay, so this is Big Tree. Let's have a look at the big tree. Look, tree. This is a very pretty maple tree. Save game. Big tree, don't kill me. Let's have a closer look, shall we? Climb tree. Okay. Okay, so in some Sierra games you have to sort of manually climb the tree and sort of guide your character up the tree like that, but in this one we just proceed straight to the screen here. Now, yes, you can fall off the branch, so do not fall off the branch. Look, nest. There's a pure golden egg lying in the nest. Look, egg. The golden egg is smooth and shiny. Get egg. You can't get the egg from here. Better get a bit closer. Get egg. The golden egg is so heavy you almost drop it. Look, egg. Smooth golden egg shines brightly in the sunlight. Open egg. You can't do that, at least not now. Alright. Now, as you come to notice, as we play this game, most of the stuff in it is from fairy tales and nursery rhymes. So you can solve a lot of puzzles just with a bit of basic knowledge of traditional stories and so on. But there's a few surprises along the way as well. Okay, so this is a garden. Look, garden. This is a well-tended carrot patch. The carrots look tempting to a hungry traveller. Look, carrots. I don't understand carrots. Get carrot. You pluck a plump orange carrot from the ground. Okay, I'm sure the owner won't mind. They seem to have an awful lot of them after all. And this is the other side of the carrot patch. Okay, let's continue eastwards. Let's just make sure this still is carrots. Look, garden. There's a neat little carrot patch. Yes, we know. Okay, what have we got here? Look, bush. You see nothing special. Look, rocks. You see nothing special. Just going to call that dirt. Now, some of these screens are here just to kind of pan out the world a bit more. Look, flowers. You see nothing special. Okay. And it seems this is one of them. However, there is a reason for some of these scenes being here, which is that they sometimes, by random chance, have enemies in them who will chase you and kill you. Look, fence. is rather high. Probably the only way to get in is through the gate. Look, goat. The goat is wandering this way and that. Now, if you know your fairy tales, I'm sure you can imagine what the goat is used for. But there's not much we can do there for the moment, so let's continue this way. The other side of the goat pen. And then continue onwards. And now we're at a well. So, save game. Well. Look well. The well is deep and dark, but you can see the sky's reflection on the water. Look, bucket. It is large, old, and weathered. It has served the kingdom for many years. Get bucket. The old bucket is securely fastened to a strong rope. Look, rope. It's thick and firmly attached. It could easily carry heavy weights. Get in bucket. You do not have it. Enter bucket. After you're in the old bucket, your weight causes it to slowly descend. See? Always thinking. Look, water. This is murky well water. Leave bucket. You do not have it. Get out of bucket. Exit bucket. Oops. That's not how you spell swim. Swim. Okay. I thought there was something useful down here, but maybe not. Look well. When you look upwards, you see the top of the well far, far above. Look walls. I don't understand walls. Look wall. Don't understand wall. Enter bucket. I don't think getting in the bucket right now will do you very much good. Your arms are like lead from swimming. You find it impossible to swim any longer. You sink to the bottom of the well. And we're dead. Restore. Restore game. Right. I can't remember why you need to do that at the moment, so let's just leave the well be for now. So yeah, when you're doing stuff like swimming in this game, you need to make sure that you don't swim for any longer than you need to, because otherwise you will die, because that is how Sierra games work. Alright, look out for that wolf. He can run very fast. Don't let him catch you. Alright, quick run to the south. They used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Just because of that music. It still kind of freaks me out now. I think I've got lifelong trauma from this game. Okay. So, as you may have noticed, we have gone all the way east and ended up back where we started. So, the world in this game wraps around on itself. So, now that the wolf is gone, because he normally appears within like the first couple of seconds of you appearing in a room. Look, flower. See, nothing special. Yeah, you can just leave the room and come back, and you'll be safe. Look, stump. Seem to be beavers around here. Okay, let's head east from here and see what we've got then. We got a big door of some description. Big door. Look, door. Door. Don't be afraid. Get close enough for a good look. When a Sierra game tells you not to be afraid, I am immediately afraid. Because of all the things we've already seen. Look, door. There's a huge wooden door built right into the bottom of a small mountain. It has a large keyhole, which means it's probably locked. Open door. Excuse me. This massive door is securely locked because, of course, it is. Alright, forget the big door for now then. Okay. Look, trees. Usually nothing special. Just trying to get some sort of vaguely descriptive thing. Let's call this pine trees. And let's head north from here because that lake's in the way otherwise. Alright, so what have we got here? Excuse me, slight hiccups. So north from pine trees takes us to trees and bowl. That bowl is important, so we want to pick that up. Look, bowl. This is a very colourful ceramic bowl. Get bowl. Pick up the ceramic bowl. Look, bowl. You notice a word on the bottom of the bowl. Fill. Okay, so river corner. We head south from here. We should be just above that lake, or just to the north of that lake. Yeah, there we are. So we want to be careful not to fall in. Because again, of course you can. Let's head back in this direction for now. Just to be safe. Or at least until another wolf or troll or ogre or giant or something decides to come and kill us. Alright. Bridge. And what is south from here? There we got a clover patch. And there's a 4-leaf clover in the middle. That seems like something that would be useful in a game about fairy tales. Get clover. Clover is soft. You sense a strange strength in it. Good. Onwards. Alright, we've got another lake here. So we go south from here. We should end up at the goat pen, I think, if I've drawn my map correctly. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's continue onwards. So your early hours of this game, as you can see, are mostly about exploring and seeing what's where. And you'll probably just stumble across a few items along the way as you do that. And once you've done that, you could then start proceeding through the various sequences of puzzles that make up the meat of the game. Okay, so that's a cave there. High up in the sky, you see a very large, friendly bird. Look, bird. This is a big condor. Its graceful flight appears effortless. Can't remember what he's for, so let's just ignore him for now. In fact, just in case he will kill us. Big condor, don't kill me! Let's have a quick peek in the cave. Oak cave is empty except for a huge boulder opposite the opening. I think this is where one of the treasures are. But I forget. It's been a very long time since I played and beat this game. Look, boulder. Here's a huge piece of granite. Push, boulder. It's impossible for you to move a boulder this large. Alright, well that answers that for now then. Actually, what are we carrying? Dagger, carrot, 4-leaf clover, ceramic bowl, and gold egg. None of those are likely to be much help in this situation, I don't think. So let's come back later. Look, rock, you see nothing special. Look, tree, you see nothing special. Okay, another pretty useless room. And if we go east again, we will end up back at the tree stump. So rather than doing that, let's head north and continue mapping. Alright, we got a house. Look, house. This is the sweetest little gingerbread house you ever saw. The walls are cake, the roof is frosting, the chimney looks delicious, and the candy path and cookie fence are unbearably tempting. Now, I'm sure you know what that means. We want to avoid that at all costs for the moment. Look, tree. What are you doing that for? There's nothing here. That tree is not relevant, and something unpleasant's probably going to jump out at you at some point in this screen. So be ready for it. I hope you enjoy it. Or it might not happen. Oh no. No, no, no. It might not happen. Okay, we got another little stump there. And if we go west from here, we should get to the bridge. Let's have a look at this stump first. Look, stump. It's old and rotted. Look in, stump. It's just a hole in an empty old stump. Alright, well. That'll do for now then. Let's head north. Okay, another bridge there. Which we'll leave alone for the moment, because you'll see why in a moment. Or in a little while anyway. When we come to do something with it. So you probably already know, given that there is a goat in here. Flower bed. Don't think there's anything useful here. Look, flowers. What a pretty bed of wildflowers. Now, since it's actually letting us look at these, let's save game. Flowers, don't kill me. Get flower. It'd be a shame to pick the lovely wildflowers. Alright, it's not. Fine. I won't pick a flower. It's not until King's Quest 2 that we need to woo a lady anyway. Yes, King's Quest 2 is all about King Graham finding a queen for himself. Okay. Look, lake. This lake looks refreshing, but a little swampy. Okay. Look, tree. There's a very interesting tree growing in the middle of the lake. Probably not especially relevant, though. Let's head north. Okay, so this is the woodcutter's house. Is an ancient rusty water pump. Probably doesn't even work. It was pump. A rusty pump doesn't work. Of course it doesn't. See, part of the trouble with the Sierra Adventures is you sometimes need to work out what the graphics are representing. Because unlike in a traditional text adventure where you can just type look to get a description of the location you're in, here you have to do it all from the graphics. So you have to know that that weird shape there is a water pump. Look, X. The handle has been broken and repaired. The head shows shines of many sharpenings. Alright. Let's pay these good folks a visit. Look at the woodcutter. The woodcutter is thin and dressed in rags. Talk to woodcutter. Welcome to my humble abode. Look at sink. I don't understand sink. Look at cupboards. Don't understand cupboards. Look around. You need to be more specific. Look. Table. Woodcutter and his wife are sitting at the old oak table. Talk, wife. She replies, I'd like to offer you something, but we do not even have food for ourselves. Okay, so here is one obvious thing that you need to do, is to find these guys some food. Now there is a convenient and easy way to do that, which we will now proceed to do. Before that, let's just fill in a hole in our map. This rock looks quite intriguing. Let's go and have a peek. We didn't save that long ago, so it's all good. Look, rock. This ancient mossy rock has seen many winters. There's a small hole at its base. Look, hole. When looking in this small hole, you see a faint green glow. Look, glow. Don't understand glow. Reach in hole. Very cautiously, you reach into the hole, and to your dismay, find nothing. Interesting. Enter hole. You need to be much smaller to fit through that hole. Alright, we'll come back to this. Yeah. Every time. Be careful. Nearby is a sorcerer. His mystical powers can leave you immobilized and helpless. Run. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Every time that gets me. Now, I don't know if that's the same one, but he certainly looks very much like the wizard who plays a prominent role in King's Quest 3. Oof. Okay, nut tree. Look, tree. There's a large walnut tree surrounded by several pine trees. Okay. Get nut. The walnuts are over by the walnut tree. I'm standing on one. I'm literally standing on one. Get nut. Okay, we can't get that one. Let's get one a bit closer. You pluck a nice walnut from the tree. Oh, King Graham's too good for nuts that are fallen on the floor, I see. Right, okay. Let's head back north from here. See where that takes us. You see nothing special. And let's fill in some gaps to the east. You've seen nearly all of the map now. Oak Beach. The river is dangerous and powerful. There is a delta of pebbles on its edge. Don't think these pebbles are important, but let's have a look anyway, just because it mentions them. Look, pebbles. The pebbles are round and smooth. Get pebble. I don't understand pebble. Get pebbles. You grab a handful of pebbles. Okay, apparently they are important. Oh, I know what they're for. Yes. Okay, River Junction. This is a raging river filled with boulders and rapids. In other words, don't jump in, because you'll die. I'm pretty sure, anyway. Let's try it. For science. Save game. This looks safe. Your swimming attempt proved fatal. The raging current drags you under. The swift current does not allow for swimming. Oh, look, you're right next to the edge, Graham. Come on now. Restore game. Okay, so you can't even swim a little bit in that river. Alright, guess we're not going that way then. Let's go back this way. And from here, let's try north. You see the castle over there in the background. There's also a toadstool over there that looks obviously like something we can do something with. So I guess we need that. But in order to do that, we need to be on the other side of the river, which we are not. So, look, river. You see nothing special. Look, stump. You see nothing special. Alright. So if we head east, we'll be back to the back of the woodcutter's house. So you can tell that we're near where the woodcutter lives because there's some trees that have been chopped down. It's these nice little bits of attention to detail that make this game. Look, bush. You see nothing special. I guess there's nothing to do here then. What happens if we go north from here? I have a feeling we end up yeah, okay, so we're back to the west of the castle where we found the dagger. Okay, so we've almost mapped out the whole world. Just a few more areas to fill in, and then we can start figuring out what to do. King Elders Moat always struck me as not very effective because, well, I mean, there's bridges for a start. And secondly, it's not dug very deep. So I imagine the water's quite deep, and it's got crocodiles in it. But also, you know, it just doesn't look super dangerous. Apart from the crocodiles, which, to be fair, are very dangerous. But you know. Alright, so that lake is in the way there, so let's just have a look this way. Okay, so that's another bridge there. If we go west from here, that should take us to the other side of those rapids that we saw before, if I can get around this bush. King Graham's greatest challenge yet. Circumnavigating a tree, bush, and rocks, which appear to be completely impassable. Alright, I guess we're not going that way then. Fair enough. Okay, different kind of bridge here. That's a stone bridge. Oak bridge. It is an old stone bridge dating to ancient times. And I don't even think it collapses when you walk on it. How about that? Perfectly safe. Okay, another big ass lake. And then east from here should take us back to the woodcutter. So instead, let's head north because we've not been there yet. Okay, log. And east from here, that's another lake edge. And we're nearly done. Well, with mapping the Kingdom of Daventry anyway. Let's investigate this log after saving the game. Big log. Like a poo. It is only a rotted log. Look in log. It's only a rotted log. Fair enough. You looked important. What can I say? Look, stump. From here you can see that the stump is very old and nearly petrified. Look in stump. Inside the old rotted stump you notice a small canvas pouch. See, it always pays to look inside stuff as well as at stuff. Get pouch. You notice the pouch feels aged and tattered. Look pouch. Tattered pouch is made of a coarse canvas. Ooh dear. Open. Am I typing? God. Open pouch. Cautiously, you open the pouch and see many sparkling and flashing diamonds. Quickly, you close it again so as not to lose any. Now that's treasure. It's not the treasure we're after, but it is treasure nonetheless. Okay. Right. That is pretty much everywhere we can get to now, I think. So we just need to figure out what to do where. So, look. Lake. This is a beautiful little lake. So, for starters, we're going to fill bowl. After uttering that strange word, the bowl starts quivering and immediately fills up with a delicious hot stew. I think you know where this is going. I just have to find my way back there, which is why we make a map. And the risk of enemies appearing is why we walk close to the side of the screen at all times. Right, if we go south from here, that should be the woodcutter. Look at that, the magic of navigation. Right, give bowl. The woodcutter family is very grateful that you've given them a bowl of stew. Now they will have at least one last meal. As a token of their gratitude, they offer their last earthly possession, the woodcutter's fiddle. Talk to woodcutter. Welcome to my humble abode. Okay. And yes, you can fall down those holes in the floor and die. Look, fiddle. The fiddle is a beautiful instrument made of polished wood. Get fiddle. The polished wood feels like satin. It seems to still vibrate from the last song it played. Look, fiddle. The fiddle is fashioned from polished cherry wood. Play fiddle. You play a lively toe-tapping tune on the fiddle. Right, don't remember what that's for. So, what else have we got? We got a dagger, we got a carrot, we got some pebbles, we've got a pouch of diamonds, a gold egg, a fiddle, and a walnut. Alright, let's see if we can do something with the goat. I think you need the carrot for that. There's the gingerbread house. Alright, so if we go west here and then south twice, that should take us to the goat. Ah, tree trouble. Move tree. Thank you. I know the tree didn't move. I went around the tree. See how that works. Alright, here we are at the goat pen. Okay, before we do anything stupid, save game. Goats. Open gate. Open gate. The gate is rather heavy, but you managed to open it. Give carrot to goat. Goats love carrots. The goat quickly devours yours. Seems the old goat has wandered off. I think that was the right thing to do. Or maybe, hold on, let me try something. Restore game. Open gate. Move. Close gate. And the gate is much easier to close than it was to open. Give carrot to goat. Goats love carrots. The goat quickly devours yours. Now you notice you'll lose some points for that because you've lost a item. The goat refuses to listen to your words. Pet goat. You can try, but be careful. Now, I was pretty sure that you give the goat the carrot and then it follows you around. But maybe not. We might have to restore if that's not how this works. Before we do that, I am going to investigate something. Excuse me. Right, there we go. As you approach the bridge, a mean, ugly troll appears. He will not let you cross this bridge. He demands a treasure for passage across his bridge. Now, you can give him a treasure, but you can also get the goat to help you out. The goat, however, is nowhere to be seen. So let's restore game. Goats. I'm going to try a couple of things. Because this one I don't actually remember the solution for. The first things first, can we get any more carrots? Get carrot. You already have a carrot. Okay, so we can't do that. Alright, next thing I want to try. Gentle Sir Graham, I'm your fairy godmother. Your quest is indeed noble. My small part to aid you can be no bigger than this magic spell, protective but for a little while. No need to say or do anything. Okay, so she shows up randomly and she basically protects you from getting killed once. But I also think the spell wears off after a little while. Okay, so enter bucket. Now we get a point for that, so that's something we're supposed to do. Climb rope. Alright. Cut. Rope. Bucket and the rope are now at the bottom of the well. Yeah, that's not right. Oh dear. Okay. Alright. Open gate. Close gate. Give carrot to goat. You're too far away. Of course. The button you can press to redo the last command. What is it? F3. Alright, now, can we go and get more carrots? Thank you, fairy godmother. Get carrot. Yes, you can get more carrots. So, what happens if we stuff the goat with multiple carrots? Okay, so that's 2 carrots. Rule of 3 suggests giving the goat 3 carrots should lead to something good. But who knows at this point. Get carrot. Open gate when the goat isn't right next to it. Close gate just so he doesn't escape. Give carrot to goat. You're too far away. I feel I'm missing something here. I'm going to go and quickly check something. I know that's lame, but, well, I don't want to hold us up more than necessary. And it would be nice to get all the way through this game today, wouldn't it? I know a couple of you have been asking for some complete throw-tos of adventure games. So, I'll be right back. Okay, couple of ideas to try. Open gate. the sole mistake I was making was just a simple case of a different verb we need to try, as you'll see in just a moment. Get carrot. It's a good job there's lots of them there, huh? Alright, let's just pop it back to normal speed for now. Open gates. Show carrot to goat. You're too far away. When you tempt the old goat with the carrot, he starts to follow you. There we go. That's what we need. Okay, so which way? West and then south a couple of times, I think, is the easiest way. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Alright, and then west from here should take us to a bridge with a troll. As you approach the bridge, a mean, ugly troll appears. He will not let you cross his bridge. It's a well-known fact that goats hate trolls intensely. You should move aside and let the goat take care of this nasty troll. The old goat, seeing the troll, the arch-enemy of all goats, charges the troll and butts him into oblivion. The bridge is now yours. What a good boy. Let's save game. Troll bridge is ours. So you see how important choosing the right verb is. That's a hangover from traditional text adventures right there. You see a crotchety old gnome pacing around his lean-to. Talk to gnome. The old gnome tells you he has something that may be very useful to you. Your task is to guess his name in 3 guesses, and his gift will be yours. Good luck! What is your first guess? The gnome is old and bent under the weight of years, but a playful wisdom still brightens his eyes. The gnome's lean-to doesn't look very sturdy. Rumpelstiltskin. Where did you get that idea? That's not even close. You still haven't guessed my name. Oh, I pressed something that made Graham crouch down. What was that? F1. Minus for ducking. Okay, nothing much going on there. See a crotch steel gnome pacing around his lean-to. Yes, we know. What about down here? That's one of the other bridges. Should be making notes of this, shouldn't I? Gnome. Where was that toadstool? And that was to the north of here, wasn't it? How do you get there then? How are you supposed to guess what his name is? Ask gnome about name. Don't understand ask. Talk to gnome. The old gnome tells you he has something that may be very useful to you. Your task is to guess his name in 3 guesses, and his gift will be yours. What is your first guess? Save game. There's got to be a way to get some clues for this. Bob. You know that's not right. What is your next guess? Tim. You didn't guess the name's name, but he left you a gold key anyway. Better luck next time. Look at key. Get key. Look key. Take the key from your pocket and take a long look at it. I want to know what his name is. I'm going to go and cheat again, if you'll excuse me for just a moment. Right, I looked it up, and this is a fucking stupid puzzle. But let's do it properly anyway. Just so I can show you how fucking stupid this puzzle is. His name is Rumpelstiltskin. However, it is Rumpelstiltskin spelled using a backwards alphabet. Not Rumpelstiltskin backwards. Rumpelstiltskin spelled using a backwards alphabet. So, I'm just going to take a moment to write the alphabet forwards and backwards. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Right, then we write the alphabet backwards underneath that to see what letters correspond to what. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Alright, so if we want to spell Rumpelstiltskin in a backwards alphabet, R corresponds to I, U corresponds to F, hold on, just writing out Rumpelstiltskin. M corresponds to N, P is K, L is O, E is V, S is H, T is G, I is R, L is O, T is G. S is H. K is P. I is R. And N is M. So that should give us I, F, N, K, O, V, H, G, R, O, G, H, P, R, M. That's right, you've guessed it. Here are some magic beans for your outstanding accomplishment. Now, to be fair to the game, that key you get, if you get it wrong, still gets you to the same place. The only difference is you don't get quite as many points for solving it using the key as you do for getting the magic beans. Being careful that you get every one of them, you place the beans in your pocket. That's not a bad idea, but this is not a very suitable place to plant these beans. Why don't you try it elsewhere? Okay, now we have to find a good place to plant these magic beans, and I'm sure you can figure out what will happen next. Well, where is a good place to plant those? I think maybe that big flower bed, possibly, which conveniently is just over here. Alright, let's try this. Save game. Oops. Having wireless issues again. Magic beans. Plant beans. The beans immediately sprout roots that reach deep into the fertile soil. Leaves unfold themselves to the warm, loving sun. A rumbling is felt, and a mighty beanstalk now stretches up into the sky. Hooray! Right. Now, I remember climbing this being a bit of a pain in the ass. But let's give it a go. Climb. What would you like to climb? Climb. Beanstalk. Oops. See what I mean? Right. Watch this. Climb. Beanstalk. I'm not sure which part of Graham's body it's calculating whether or not you fall off from. If you can figure that out, then you're probably all good. But unfortunately, figuring that out is not terribly easy. And this is why, in some ways, it's actually better to go for the key, because it's much easier to climb a set of stairs than it is to climb this stupid bloody beanstalk. See, I don't understand. Right, what are you holding on to? You just fall off. Stupid moron. Right. Climb. I don't understand at all. At all. We just go up. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Okay, so it's not quite that simple. Alright. I will let it off. I believe we'd die from that height. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Restore game. Right, so you just need to be a little more careful. Plant beans. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, very good. Alright. Climb beanstalk. And straight up. Right. Save game. Let's go back to the top. Halfway up. I put that little hyphen there just because it makes it a little bit easier to tell when you've moved on to like a second time round the a second time around the save game slots. Okay, so that was incorrect. So we got this far, then we fell off just ahead. So can we move a little to the right there? Is that it? Have we done it? We've done it! Oh no, there's another screen of it. Because of course there is. Alright, Graham. Save game. And onward. I think you need to avoid touching the leaves, is the thing. Oh, you have to be careful when you get so high on the foliage. That's what I get for being overconfident. Right, carefully through that gap there. Continue. No! I didn't... Oh, Sierra. Why you do this? Right. Up. Okay, so it's not touching the leaves. I honestly have no idea what determines whether or not you're going to fall then. You just go straight up? No, that can't possibly work because... Or can it? No. No, it cannot. See, it doesn't make logical sense, is the problem here. So you get to this point, and then what? So he switches to that sort of path that's going around the back there. But it's so difficult to see what it is he's actually holding on to. So far as the game's concerned. No. I'm going to do this. I'm determined now. We've been here a long time already, I know, but... Well... In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. Right, so there, he goes behind the stalk. I'm going to save here. How the fuck? Right, let's go straight up from here. Maybe a little left. No. No, not save game. Restored game. God's sake. Right. Up. Up. And up. Piss flaps. We've done it. Tell me this. Oh no. Why? Please don't die. Ah. Cloudland. Right. You walk on a soft spot in the cloud and fall to your death. Oh no. Right. What happens up here? There's obviously a giant. Because, you know, Jack and the Beanstalk and all that. Question is, what to do? Nothing going on there. That's a giant. Very much coming for us. Now, if I remember correctly, you just have to hide from him. Fairy Godmother spell is protecting you. That's fortunate, isn't it? And the giant has the shield, you'll notice. The enormous giant has been carrying that heavy chest for as long as he can remember. Oh, it's the chest, not the shield. I do apologise, that makes more sense. Alright, so I'm going to stay hiding behind this tree. Unless he decides to come for me. He's not actually chasing me. He's just sort of moving around randomly. There we go. What luck. The huge giant fell fast asleep. Again, that's not a particularly great puzzle because it's not terribly intuitive that you just have to wait. But again, wait is something that you would have to do in old text adventures. Sleeping giant. Get chest. Very carefully you slip the magic chest from the sleeping giant's arms. Hooray! We've got one of the 3 treasures! And then this cave, I think, leads you to where you would end up if you came through the door. Yeah, here we are. I'll save here because I'm pretty sure you can die on these stairs as well. Perilous staircase. I'm also not entirely sure if you can actually get out if you don't have the key, but I guess we'll find out. Keep it going, Graham. What the fuck? It's a good thing you're protected by a spell. That little dwarf likes to steal treasures. Well, that little dwarf can eat a dick. Now, thankfully, just pushing the diagonal direction allows us to walk down these stairs without too much difficulty. In a couple of the later games, King's Quest 3 in particular springs to mind, there are some sequences where it's not so easy to walk down. There's like a descent down a mountain towards the beginning of King's Quest 3 that involves a lot of sort of walking behind rocks and things like that, and it's an absolute nightmare to do. There we go. Smashing. Right. Save game. One treasure down. Okay. Where do we go next? Where are we, for that matter? Big door. Okay. I'm heading back for the well. Get out of here, Wolf. You do run very fast on high speed, don't you? Let's just go back to normal. Swim. Right, one more west, I think. Here I am now wishing I'd given these rooms better names than bushes. Wait, no, that's wrong. This way. Then this way. There we go. Right. Now, while I was looking up the solution earlier, I did happen to catch a glimpse of something. So I wasn't actually wrong to do this before. With the rope cut, you're able to take the bucket. Marvellous. Turn crank. Turn handle. Look well. Look rope. Thick and firmly attached. Lower rope. Lower rope. I am totally close enough to do that. Look, handle. Look well. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the bucket and we can still climb down. So, climb, rope. Down we go. Oh, no! Swim. Dive. Look, can. Rusty old can has been here a while. Look, bottle. Looks like this bottle has been here for a very long time. It's just an old junky bottle, you don't want it. Alright, so we then need to, I think, sneak through this little hole here. Here we are. The water hits the dragon squarely in the mouth, extinguishing its roaring flames. No fire! How mortified and embarrassed the dragon is. Moving a huge boulder in leaving, the dragon creeps off to sulk. There we go. The water, if you're wondering, we picked up by having the bucket in our possession when we were underwater. So it filled itself with water when we did that. And now we can get the mirror. Alright. Now we are cooking. And this, of course, leads us back to this cave we saw earlier. Okay, save game. Two out of 3. Okay, so we've got the mirror. I open this guy, you see a very large friendly bird. Still don't know what he's for. So we've got the chest. We've got the mirror. We just need the shield, isn't it? Look at mirror. As you're holding the magic mirror, you look into it and see a vision of yourself with a crown on your head. You admire the workmanship of the beautiful chest. Okay, I'm kind of at a loss now. So, places we haven't done anything with. There is the gingerbread house, which we will presumably need to do something with at some point. So let's go have a look there now. Might be able to figure something out at least. Hey, save game. Gingerbread house. 8 fence. Yummy. Look, window. Windows are made from translucent hardened sugar. It's difficult to see through them. Alright. Look, door. Door is made from graham crackers held together with chocolate drop nails. Open door. Be thankful that you have a protective spell, or the witch may have stuck around to try and catch you. Oh, that's convenient, isn't it? Open cupboard. Look, cupboard. Sitting on the shelf is a delicious piece of Swiss cheese. Get cheese. You pluck the Swiss cheese from the shelf. Look, paper. Don't understand paper. Look, note. Written in a familiar language. Read note. You do not have it. Get note. Read note. A note reads, sometimes it is wise to think backwards. Okay, so that is a clue for the Rumpelstiltskin thing. It's still stupid that it's not just spelling it backwards, though. It's putting the whole bloody alphabet backwards, but, you know, whatever. Adventure game moon logic. It is not a new thing. We go that way? No. Look, stove. It's an old wood stove and very hot. The fire must have been burning for some time. Alright, well. Close cupboard. Look, cheese. Swiss cheese looks fresh and moist. Okay, so what do we do with that then? There's still that tiny rock with the hole in it that we need to do something with. And there's still a room we haven't been able to get to north of the River T junction with the mushroom in it. So I'm not sure how we do that. Where's the rock with a hole in it for a start? Can't read my own map. Rock hole. There it is. Get out of here, sorcerer. We don't like you. You smell. Okay, let's not go that way. Let's go this way. There it is. Save game. This hole is small. Put cheese in hole. You can't do that, at least not now. Look in hole. We're looking in this small hole. You see a faint green glow. There's got to be a way to get in that hole. Because if you do enter a hole, it says you need to be much smaller to fit through that hole, which suggests that there is a way to get yourself smaller. And I suspect it's that mushroom you need to do that. But we can't reach that mushroom, is the trouble. Oh wait, I've got an idea. It's been a very long episode, I know, but like I say, there have been at least a couple of you have been asking for full playthroughs of adventure games. And since a full playthrough of an adventure game is only like a couple of hours at most, in most cases, unless you get really stuck. And yeah, I thought this may as well be a good one to do that. So, get axe. The old axe is tightly wedged into the tree stump. You cannot remove it, whatever you do. Well then, how about... give pouch to woodcutter. The woodcutter and his wife very gratefully accept the treasure. This will help us for a while, says the woodcutter. We do lose points for that. Maybe we don't want to do that. Alright, so we can't get the axe. Just looking at my map to try and figure out where we might be able to go, because we need to get on the other side of those rapids. You can't swim across them because they're rapids. Right, there's the back of the woodcutter's house. Let's go west from here. And keep going west. Run, 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 Graham. Keep running, Graham. Right, it should be Stonebridge next. There it is. So we cross over that and get on the north side of this river. And then here's the troll bridge. And what we need is to be over here. And that's south of the castle. So you can't swim through the moat to get there. Let's just turn the speed down. Normal. Can we sneak down this corner? Can we be that sneaky? We cannot. Oak bush. You see nothing special. Oak tree. You see nothing special. Look, rocks. You see nothing special. How do we get over there then? Let's try going the other way. I don't think that will work, but if we try staying at the top of the screen here. Oh no, it's just that lake's in the way. So that doesn't matter too much because we get on the other side of that eventually anyway. Because we just go round it. Alright, so let's stay up here. And go around the back of the woodcutter's house. Again, we'll keep up here. Keep as far north as possible. Oh god. Whew. Don't come back. Please don't come back. Oh, you are very fortunate that your protective spell is still working. Good. Good, I'm glad. Right, yeah, then there's just that river in the way, isn't there? This is sad. You are not the first to fail your quest in the raging river. I hope you may be the last. Restore game. I'm going to ask for help again. Excuse me. Alright. It's to do with the bird. So, I need to remember where the hell the bird is first. I think he was at the cave, wasn't he? No, stop getting stuck behind trees, Graham. The witch can feel your protective spell and bids a hasty retreat. That's going to run out at some really inconvenient moment, isn't it? Still, it's done us proud so far. Right, I think... Yeah, here we are. Here's the bird. So what you need to do is... So the only time in the game that you ever need to jump is here. So you can grab onto that bird. And because it's a friendly bird, it takes you somewhere nice. However, actually, being in the right position to jump on said bird easier said than done. There seem to be a few set places that he does descend. I think where I'm standing is one of them. The edges of the screen seem to be ones as well. Oh, he's gone. Damn it! Alright, let's try that again. Because he showed up every time that we've been there so far. This is where he never shows up ever again, isn't it? Take me, bird. Come on. Call bird. Talk to bird. Right, bird. Not right now. It can't be this hard, surely. Oh, there we go. Apparently it can. Where could this giant bird be taking you? Yeah, it really is all about timing there. Very awkward. Alright, here we are. Ouch! Save game. This hole is big. Right, I'm pretty sure we are now near where the mushroom is, because I recognise these purple berries. So, hopefully, if we come over here... Yeah, there it is. Marvellous. Right. Look, mushroom. Get mushroom. Look, hole. In the depth of the large hole, you seem to sense a faint green glow. So this obviously connects to the rock with the hole in it. We saw it before. So let's plummet to our inevitable demise. Ouch! Oh no, we're good. Alright, so what's going on in here? Not much. Ooh, big rat. Look at rat. A big rat with dripping teeth and small greedy eyes. Give cheese to rat. It appears you are afraid of the rat. You must get closer to give anything to this rat. Be careful around this rat next time, he's dangerous. Oh. I do like the fact that the death message evolves as you go through the game. It sort of gets more and more positive the more points you've got. Right. I think we're nearly done. You'll be pleased to hear. Judging by our score anyway. I'm pretty sure we don't have an optimal score. Because I'm sure there's some things that we haven't done that we could have done. But because of various circumstances we haven't needed to do them. So like the Fairy Godmother's spell, for example, has protected us from quite a lot of things. Like in the gingerbread house, it mentioned that the Fairy Godmother's spell was keeping the witch away. But I think there's some more points to be got if you don't have the spell, and if you actually encounter the witch and you do the proper full-on Hansel and Gretel push her into the oven thing. But, well, it is what it is. And as it said on the packaging, there are multiple solutions to the problem. So you can still finish the game, you just won't have a perfect score. Alright, save game. Rat face. Give cheese to rate. Rat. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. The rat drools at the sight of the cheese and snatches it from your hand. You might want to count your fingers. The rat scrambles to the wall and seems to magically merge with it. Open door. The door slowly opens. The leprechauns revere the power of the four-leaf clover. With it in your possession, they will leave you absolutely alone. Well, that's fortunate, isn't it? Save game. Top of the morning. Look, leprechauns. They are tiny people dressed all in green. What happens if we play fiddle? Leprechauns love fiddle music. Have you ever seen such frenzied dancing? Totally involved in the music, they dance right out to the room. Look, crack. Okay, nothing to do here. I guess that's another alternative solution to the problem. You can have the four-leaf clover, or you can play the fiddle. Or you can do both. After his followers have danced away, the king of the leprechauns realizes he can lead best by following, and leaves, forgetting his beautiful scepter. I will have that, thank you very much. Get scepter. Eagerly, you pick up the scepter. Look, scepter. The elegance of the scepter is incomprehensible. And there's the shield. You take the magic shield and carefully put it into your pocket. Look, shield. It's made from titanium and edged with emeralds. Nearly done. Yeah, we're definitely not going to get a perfect score, but 130 out of 158, or whatever we end up getting, because I'm sure there'll be a few extra points for turning in the treasures at the end. Look, hole. Small hole leads to the outside world. Enter hole. Eat mushroom. As soon as you swallow the first bite, you have this strange shrinking feeling. It's true. You're now no bigger than a mouse. Oh, look at that little tiny Graham sprite. Hopefully that will wear off again. In the meantime, we need to find our way back to the castle, which is... if we go north, you feel a stretching sensation. Oh, you're back to your original size. That's fortunate. If we go north twice, and then east twice, I think that should get us where we're going. Leave me be, ogre. So, I mean, I've mostly been commenting on the actual game as we've been playing it here. But I mentioned at the beginning how sort of the graphics in this, they don't really sort of push the ST to the maximum. And you can actually sort of see that if you look at how they are presented. So if you look at... hold on. yeah, if you look at the individual pixels, like if you look at like 1 pixel of the graphics on the river there, you can see that they're rectangular pixels rather than square pixels. And that's sort of a hangover from the original graphics mode that it ran in. So the ST's low resolution mode was 320 by 200 with square pixels, or near as damn it square anyway. So this is running in 320 by 200. It's just that the graphics have been designed with slightly larger, wider pixels in mind, so it doesn't quite look as good as what the ST is actually capable of. If you look at the Atari ST version of King's Quest IV, The Perils of Rosella, they actually did take much better advantage of the ST's capabilities in that, and sort of that era of Sierra games. So there's, I think, Police Quest 2, maybe a couple of Leisure Suit Larry games as well, I can't remember. Yeah, they make much better use of the ST, but unfortunately that was sort of coming to the end of the era where the ST and the Amiga were relevant. So King's Quest IV was the last King's Quest we saw on the ST, because pretty much everything went to MS-DOS PCs at that point. Which made sense, because people wanted standard rather than proprietary. And that's what they got with DOS PCs. Alright, bow. When you bow to King Edward, his pleased smile warms you. You move aside as the king steps from his throne. As you approach the throne, the king himself rises to commend you for a job well done. Oh, oh! The king proclaims in pain. From the seemingly lifeless king, you hear these words. Well done, Sir Graham. You have been a good and faithful servant. Your reward is well deserved. My kingdom is now yours. With those words, King Edward the Benevolent dies. The experiences of your quest will be invaluable to you as you begin your reign as King of Daventry. Thank you for playing King's Quest from Ken and Roberta Williams, Sol Ackerman, Chris Iden, Jeff Stevenson, Mark Crow, Bob Ballou, Mikkel Knight, and Susan Lee. We've done it, boys and girls. 137 out of 158. Not bad at all. Alright, well, after 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, it just remains for me to say, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. New episodes of Atari A to Z are on Tuesdays and Atari ST A to Z on Thursdays. Check out atariatoz.wordpress.com for a full archive. Do please also check out my other projects moegamer.net, where I explore Japanese and Japanese-inspired games from yesterday and today, and videopackgames.wordpress.com, which aims to catalogue the small but well-formed library of the Philips G7000 Videopack computer, also known as the Magnavox Odyssey 2. You can also support my work on Patreon or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.